was just thinking nothing clears the mind like a refreshing, burning hot soak. Care to accompany me?
Look, I do love a good hot bath, even whilst dead. And I'm not one to say no to goddesses, so... why not? My eyes are properly averted, goddess. That, I swear.
Would mortals often bathe, Odysseus?
Oh, well, most of them would bathe from time to time, though seldomly together like this. Men with women. It could be untoward.
I see. We gods have no such shame, I realize. Have I made you uncomfortable?
Me? No, goddess, of course not, no. In fact, I've bathed with goddesses before. It's been a little while.
Well, as long as it's agreeable for you.
It is. Agreeable, it is. Well, don't know about you, but I am properly relaxed, I'd say.
Yeah?
Hey, I was thinking I'm due for a good boil in the springs. Join me for a bit?
A visit to the baths with you right now? Ha! Sure. I'm honored to accompany you, goddess. Practically feel it in my bones. I trust the temperature is to your liking,
You've met many goddesses even in your mortal days, haven't you, Odd?
In this, I'm very fortunate indeed. The Lady Athena often watched over me. I'd never have survived the war if not for her. Then, on my travels home, there was Calypso and Circe, a witch not unlike you.
Circe used to study under Headmistress, always with her crystals. And Calypso, she's a nymph, correct? A lesser goddess, I suppose?
Nothing lesser about her, with respect. These goddesses, the hospitality they showed me, why, it almost made me forget myself. Forget my family.
But you did not forget. You made your journey home. Even I know the tale.
It's a tale, goddess. Anyway, life takes its complicated turns. Take it from me. That was a splendid and much-needed time. Truly appreciate the invitation.
Who dares?
Say, Dora, would you mind accompanying me over to the baths? I'd hate to think they aren't haunted.
Do I want to float aimlessly in some near boiling water? Do I ever? What are we waiting for? Wonder if I was ever shy about this kind of stuff.
You still can sense something of the water's warmth, can't you, Dora?
Well, I can see all the steam rising, which I associate with warmth, so I guess it kind of tricks me into thinking warm thoughts.
That doesn't sound so bad. Though you do remember what warmth was like then, from your mortal days?
Not really, no. I guess I've just heard so much about it. It's like I've experienced it myself.
Oh.
Well, that was basically like floating around in your tent, though I appreciate it nonetheless.
I've got these bath salts here that are more than enough for me, if you're not busy at the moment.
Mel, you know I like doing nothing. Sitting in the bathhouse with you? Well, that's gotta be the next best thing. So, shall we? Like being cooked in a cauldron, isn't it?
Don't you ever wonder how you used to be, Dora? When you were flesh and blood? I bet you were very beautiful.
What? Seriously? Is it because of my voice or because of my curves? Nah, you're just messing with me.
I am not. It's because of your confidence, I suppose. You're very self-assured. Some shades cower before me, but you and I always got on.
Well, some shades are total buffoons. Anyway, it doesn't really matter to me how I used to be. If I was happy about it, I figure I'd remember.
You think you've deliberately forgotten your past?
Yeah. Why else would I have forgotten everything? Probably took a couple swigs from the River Lethe, and that was that. Clean slate.
The River of Forgetfulness. You think you were down in Elysium?
Maybe. Who knows? You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think I had a good time with you back there. Thanks, Mel.
Have you experienced our hot springs yet, Lord Moros? The waters cleanse the body and the mind. I'm headed over if you'd care to join me.
Why, I don't see why not. I've seen and heard about such springs as these, though never been. Oof. To think that such a place is hidden here.
So, what did you and the Fates do for recreation where you're from anyhow?
Have I mentioned they like to weave? Their weaving was their occupation and their passion. I never got too good at it myself, and all they needed was the three of them, so...
I know an excellent spinstress who could maybe help with your technique. What did you do while they were busy spinning away?
Well, I would travel the world to witness mortals in their final moments. Look them square in the face as they perished, often in horror.
You do this for recreation's sake?
The nature of the role leaves little time for recreation, and it's all I could do to make those final moments dignified. Though I don't think the gesture always comes across.
I'm sorry.
I've not felt so refreshed in, well, it's been a while now. Thank you again.
Please don't make me regret this, Eris. But would you like to join me at the hot springs for a bit? Helps ease the tension.
Wait, the springs are purified again? I've been out of the loop. Surprised I get another invite after last time, but okay. Ah, yeah. So this is what you still do to relax? Hot as magma in this thing. Can we get out yet?
Permission denied. You'll quickly grow accustomed to the heat. Just try to concentrate on any tensions that you feel and let the waters take them.
Tensions? Me? Babe, I don't need to boil alive in order to cut loose. Though good to know you found a way to bottle tensions up. What happens if you drink this stuff?
These springs are pure, thanks partly to the salts we use. Though even still, I wouldn't recommend imbibing them. Next thing you know, you might be purified as well.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. This is the way I am, down to my very core. And if you don't like it, and brought me in here hoping a nice hot bath was all it'd take for me to change, well then, I hate to disappoint.
Looks like the waters haven't rid you of your tensions yet. Sometimes a hot spring is just a hot spring, Eris. Not everything is an assault on your ideals.
With all of you, I never can be sure. Though this is nicer than the last time, and the heat isn't so bad right now, I guess.
It's perfect.
Ugh, I think I drank way too much bathwater back there. Is this what being purified feels like? Woo!
See you, Eris. Hey, Nem. Are you available to make another visit to the springs? Take a load off, come back to our senses a bit?
Shoulder's been acting up again. Could be it helps with that. Don't like having to take this suit off, but that's the trade. Not too hot, not too cold. First time you beat me in a fight, sparring match, whatever, got me right in the back of the neck. Took advantage of our height difference. Was a surprise.
I'd lost to you so often, at some point I figured I could lull you into overconfidence. That even you could be susceptible to such a thing.
You weren't wrong. Made me so angry. Swore I'd never underestimate my opponent again. Then proceeded to convince myself you'd never beat me at the task. Our task.
So you've a bit of pride. You're not trying to stamp it out completely, right? Just keep it in check. Besides, I'd like to think we're not at odds in what we're trying to achieve.
We're not, but I can only push myself so hard. Seeing you getting stronger, getting closer, gives me the extra push I need.
I'd no idea. I always thought I got my competitive spirit from you. Anyway, do let me know if you need anything else, such as lending a hand putting on that suit of yours.
Or taking it off. Yeah. Though, can't let myself become too used to this.
Maybe just a little used to it then.
Well, enough sitting around. Time for some standing around to balance it out.
Off we go then. Nemesis, we've been going on like this a while, and I wondered if you'd be up to take a break. Over at the springs.
Come to think, could really use a bath. You, I mean. But I could too, I guess, so why not? Really shouldn't get too comfortable in here.
How long has it been since you last took off the armor?
A while. Not been much incentive. You saw how much of a pain it is to undo the lacing and the straps. Feels strange without. Like I don't know.
Unburdened? More comfortable at least.
Good letting off some steam sometimes, I guess. But there's a fine line between rest and complacency.
I don't know that we're at risk of becoming complacent here, Nem.
The risk is greater than you think. We're lounging in a bath while who knows what is going on out there.
We're not lounging. We'll be better equipped to deal with the who knows what out there if our muscles aren't all knotted up.
Like you know. All right, gotta get back to work. Though, this suit does feel a little lighter now.
Take care, Nem. Headmistress, I was wondering if you might accompany me to the springs for a short while, if you're not overly preoccupied.
Well, I do believe I could use a bit of a soak. I've more knots in my back than that tree. Let's be quick about it then. These waters always seem to do the trick. But this is all right. Thank you for replenishing these waters. One of those details I had been meaning to get to, but alas.
You're very welcome, Headmistress. I appreciate your saying so, as I half thought you would admonish me for using magic and resources on this sort of thing.
Magic mostly is for self-improvement, Malinois. Not a shortcut, mind you. And if an occasional scalding hot soak in the springs isn't self-improvement, then my concept of it must be very flawed.
I wish I could bring myself to relax. I feel like I'm wasting precious time while I'm here.
Time spent being good to oneself is never wasted, unless you overthink it overmuch. We are here. Seize the moment ere it passes. A shame we cannot cook indefinitely in those springs, but a brief dip is better than none at all.
I was thinking of putting these purifying salts to use, Headmistress. Call it a cleansing ritual. Would you accompany me?
A visit to the springs ought to rid us of unwanted thoughts for a while. Let us be cleansed together then. Would that this were all we had to do. We're like two nettles boiling in a cauldron, aren't we?
I remember bathing in this spring when I was very small. You would ask me never to splash your hair, and I would do it anyway. You were so tolerant of me.
Well, now at least you know the reason that your training was so rigorous. There came a point when even my vast tolerance for all your splashing finally wore thin.
Wait, you trained me to the height of my ability as a witch because I got your hair wet?
It was either that or transform you into a newt or something. Come off it, Malinois. You are entirely too serious sometimes.
A lesson I've been unable to take to heart, Headmistress. I suppose it's been a while since we talked like this.
Yes, well, that's growing up for you. And present circumstances haven't helped either. This blasted hot spring got all covered up with moss and had been stagnant, I don't know how long. Being here again, it takes me back.
Do you think we'll be able to keep the moss from reclaiming this place again?
I'll watch the moss, you watch the splashing. Deal?
Deal.
Much better. Sometimes I think that hot spring could raise the dead.
Hey, how about another visit to the springs? You seemed to enjoy yourself last time, and I find it truly helps.
Well, as long as it helps. Look, I don't get my wings wet for just anybody, babe, but you're special. So let's go? Look at all these bubbles dying off.
What is it like having so many siblings? I have but one and didn't even know him growing up, though I often tried confiding in him anyway, like an imaginary friend.
The more brothers and sisters you have, the bigger the disappointment you can be. And it is so embarrassing when you forget their names. Just look at how us kids of Nyx get on. The only family more messed up than mine is yours.
You mean the Olympians? How do you figure? They have their differences, to be sure, but they still work together to maintain the natural order of the realms.
Work together? Come on, they can barely stand each other. From the very top on down. They never should have gone into business. Always caught between their blood commitments and their jobs.
I won't deny that family adds a complicated layer to their responsibilities, but it's also a source of solidarity and strength. Look at them now, standing together against a common foe. This is the Olympus mortals' love and fear.
Sorry, not impressed. They say family's a bond that can never be broken, but as is so often the case, they're wrong. Just because someone's related to you doesn't make them special or deserving of respect.
What does it take to earn respect from you, Eris?
I actually don't even know the answer to that right now. Though sitting naked with me in half-boiling water helps.
Well, all right.
I had a blast there, babe. And look how clean my wings are now. Won't stay like this for long, but still.
Instead.
By the way, have you seen what we did with the springs? Good place to shed any lingering pains if you want to go.
With you, right now. All right. Though, don't expect the spring water to be much good for my complexion, eh?
That's good.
In we go, then. Funny how utterly beyond belief life is sometimes. While I was living, I could never have imagined anything like this.
It's just a hot spring, Icarus. A purified and heavily enchanted one, but nonetheless. You've been flying over fleets of risen warships. How is this any stranger than that?
It's mostly that I'm here with you. You're so beautiful, Melly. Not that you need us shades and mortals to know it. And Aphrodite herself must have told you, eh?
Oh, stop. Aphrodite has been a steadfast ally. If she was envious of me, I doubt she'd be as forthcoming with all of her most potent blessings as she has been.
That isn't really what I meant. We mortals tend to have a certain shame. Our bodies can be so vulnerable and ugly sometimes. But not gods and goddesses.
I don't see what's to be ashamed of. I've known shades such as you and Odysseus. Spirits strong enough to hold their form well beyond death. You're close enough to gods.
Well, that's kind of you to say. And you were right about my burdens in this place. I'm really glad we're here.
As am I.
I only wish we could have stayed longer. Though that was great. Thank you for bringing me along.
It was nice. And then...
Yes.
I enjoyed our prior outing at the Springs, and thought you might be open to another sometime soon. Perhaps even right now.
Oh, well, these wings, they need further maintenance, but what am I even saying? They can definitely wait. Let's go.
You're quiet, Icarus. What's on your mind? Besides the further maintenance of the magnificent wings you've built.
It's just... most of my evenings are substantially less pleasant. I want to make this last. As well as fix the bloody wings. If they were so magnificent, they wouldn't break.
I think magnificent things are often fragile things. Though they seem sturdier than you let on. You had to solve the problems that caused the famous wings of Daedalus to fail.
That failure was mine. The wings my father made were built with feathers and wax, which was all he had to work with at the time. The wax had to stay cool, but I flew off into the blazing sun. Probably should have gone out at night in retrospect.
Perhaps you didn't have the luxury of choice, since you were captives then. So what happened? The wings melted on you.
Well, yes. Using them was such a thrill that I pushed them too hard. So I fell. These new ones use a fiber like the bones of a bird, so they don't split as easily. Though, let's not talk about the past, all right? I much prefer the present.
I do too.
They tell the dead to rest in peace, but I've not had a break like that in far too long. Cheers, eh?
Cheers. You never did say no to bath salts, Nemesis, so how about it? As long as you feel we've earned at least a short break.
Don't know that we have. Though I've accumulated enough knots in my muscles that it's gotten in the way. So why not? Ugh, damn. Can't believe I'm sitting here with you. Couldn't stand the sight of you for the longest time. Wanted to snap you like a twig. Now I got you helping me unstrap my suit.
We're capable of change, aren't we? You must believe that yourself. Otherwise, what's the use of all the retribution you dole out? It can't be for the sake of punishment entirely.
The punishment is half of it, but yeah, important to learn. If not from our own failures, then those occurring constantly around us. Still, I don't think I've changed at all. You have.
I have? I'm still hell-bent on all my responsibilities, counting the moments before I can get back to what I'm meant to be doing, rather than enjoying being here with you.
Except we're only here because you worked up the guts to ask. But fine, maybe you haven't changed a lot. Maybe I just like who you are more than I used to for some reason.
I feel much the same, though I've admired you since training. It gladdens me to be with you like this, and how we've been fighting on the same side recently.
Always wanted the same thing, just didn't think there was enough to go around. No, enough talk. You going to get these knots out of my back or what?
I'll do what I can.
Feels better than before, I'll give you that. Though don't go thinking I'll let up on you out there. We're calling this even.
As it should be.
You had an audience with the three Fades. Your incantation from so many nights ago must have taken effect. Hermes indicated they're in good spirits, but shall be continuing their leave. Well done drawing them out, nevertheless.
Thank you, Headmistress. I get the impression that they sought me more so than the other way around, but at least we know they're safe. They also mentioned you.
They did they? In what capacity?
They said you've... well, is there someplace more private where we can discuss this, do you think?
Let's to the springs. You've earned the rest. And we can sit and talk about what's on your mind. And theirs.
Just right.
Ah, but that's not bad. So, what do the three weaving sisters know of me then, You were about to say.
They told me... I believe the phrase they used was you had pulled some strings. They didn't elaborate, but suggested I ask you about it.
Pulled strings. I know full well what they meant. But to this point, I was uncertain whether they did. Let me twist your question back. What do you suppose they implied?
I got the sense they felt that you had altered their designs somehow. Pulling strings, changing their weavings, and not in a small way either, but I merely guess.
You don't merely anything, Malinois. Well, if those three already know my past, you ought to know it too. And 'tis easier to explain, I suppose, if you look upon me as I am.
Headmistress, what? You're beautiful. But what is this? I don't understand. Some trick you're playing, or some glamour, or...
No. The trick is when the veil is on. Look upon me, and do not avert your eyes. I know those eyes better than you.
How is this possible? Who are you?
When I was a mere babe, I washed up on the bank of the Icarus with naught but moonlight to guide me. Selene looked out for me, informed me that the Titan Kronos took my family, and that I alone escaped. Thus, I trained.
You trained for the task. Death to Kronos. You attempted all of that before I did.
Before is not entirely correct. I was a capable student, but very raw. Vengeance was my headmistress. And one night I found the wretch, spewed every curse that I knew, and ascended into the abyss of his subconscious.
But I had you to teach me to descend to the abyss of the subconscious. You mean to say you figured it out entirely on your own? That's impossible.
Speaking from experience, I beg to differ. But at any rate, something did go awry. Time and nightmare fused, and I discovered I was someplace else. I sought the end of time, but had arrived somewhere closer to the beginning.
And then you lived for eons, waiting for the weavings of the fates, and me, for a second chance. Headmistress, Gods.
I dared not tamper with the Fates' designs more than was strictly needed. In this form, I ingratiated myself to your father and mother, became handmaiden to the Queen, in fact. Thus, when Kronos inevitably struck, they gave their newborn daughter not to the river Styx, but to me.
Then, you did everything in your power to prepare me, so that I might succeed where you failed.
Correct. 'Tis as I always told you, I am not your mother, Malinois. Neither did I have one myself. However, I had reason to be confident in your abilities. So, there you are. How you must hate me for all this.
No. How can you even say that still, Headmistress? I love you, and you are my mother, whether you can admit it or not. And even if we're far too much alike.
I love you too, of course, Malinois, with all my heart and soul. Far more than I could ever love myself. And I am so sorry for all that you had to endure. For the family you never had.
But I have my family. I have you.
An Ares soul must know of this, I trust you understand. The three fates, fine, and we and no one else. Now then, shall we pretend that none of this transpired?
I'll be discreet, of course, but won't pretend.